Hello, holidays are over. We are talking about the enabling of a narcissist today and how it can lead to all kinds of problems. If you have a narcissist afoot in your life and you know that you've tried to tell someone about it, share it with someone, and they don't believe you because the narcissist is charming with them, or they don't take as seriously the claims that you're making with the narcissist because the narcissist has snowed them into thinking not everything is bad. Anyway, that creates an issue. You don't feel believed. You don't feel validated. You feel that everyone is brushing everything under the carpet, that it's not a big deal. Meanwhile, the narcissist afoot in your life, I say that because we know it could be business partner, friend, family, or romantic. When they're afoot in your life and they're torturing you and you're trying to seek help and no one's listening. No one's listening, right? I was watching something the other day and it clicked. I liken the narcissist's path of non-enlightenment to that of someone who committed a crime. And I've had clients in coaching talk about their narcissist as criminally acting against them. But it is that someone of, because you're watching the criminal who maybe they get out of prison and they go after the policeman who put them there, and they never look inward, self-reflect, realize they were wrong to commit the crime. They seek them out to do harm. They don't seek them out to apologize and never do the crime again. There's no taking responsibility. Everything's your fault. You caught them. The criminal gets mad if they're caught. They get mad at you. There's a clip on right now all over social media that the criminal flew over the desk and attacked this judge. 2 seconds after he's trying to talk about how enlightened and evolved he was. They don't learn, and it's frustrating when you are the victim and you're trying to make others stop enabling the narcissist. This judge put her foot down and she was no longer going to enable him. She was going to send him to the prison that he deserved, and he flipped out. It cracks me up. You don't know you did the crime, or you want us to ignore it? See, these people, many times, the narcissists, have been tolerated by their own families so as to not rock the family boat. I heard someone say over these past holidays, well, it was a nice holiday. At least there wasn't any fighting. Well, I kind of have a bigger barometer for what's a nice holiday than this kind of ignoring and sweeping under the carpet behavior that, oh, at least there wasn't fighting. No, but the narcissist afoot had a scowl, had a furrowed brow, had their arms folded, didn't talk to certain people. That's not a nice holiday, in my opinion, okay? And this kind of behavior, when people ignore that happening and just accept, well, there was no fighting, this allows the narcissist to not only behave in the way that they do, but they sell it to themselves that it's okay to behave that way. I continually find it fascinating that people don't know when they're acting like, not nice. I know when I'm being snarky. I definitely know when I'm being snarky. No one challenges or points it out because they're just sick of the fighting, the big blowout, the non-response, the getting nowhere. The narcissist will oftentimes erupt in a rage if anyone tries to point out their behavior. We've talked a lot about this, you guys. They don't want their truth known to them. They don't want it pointed out to them. They don't want to see their truth the way that you see their truth. They want to see their truth as, I have a right to behave this way. You did so-and-so to me. You did this. You did that. They did this. The weather that. It's everyone else's fault. And we all know that if you have a narcissist in your life, you 100% know that they blame everything and everybody else for their position of orneriness, meanness, nastiness, ugliness. It's nobody's fault. I mean, it's not their fault. It's everybody else's fault, right? How that manifests itself when the families of these narcissists ignore it is the narcissist thinks they can behave any way they want. There's never been any consequence, not commensurate to the damage they cause, not commensurate to how mean their action was. It gets swept under the carpet time and time again. So what happens? That person grows up, right? Say they're 5, 7, 9, 15, 21, and throughout the years, their family has ignored it, not taken it seriously, not punished them severely enough. They're exhausted. Parents get exhausted. Guardians, whoever's around the narcissist responsible or maybe that could have an influence, they get exhausted because how exhausting is it to try to get through to a narcissist? It's banging your head against the wall, right? It definitely is. You're getting nowhere. So I understand how it can happen and that you just leave it alone. I do, because the experts that be tell you you can't get through to a narcissist anyway. But when they're 5, 7, and 9 and they're doing things that are awful to their siblings, say, don't ignore that and don't not believe the other siblings. If they're saying, no, I promise you, it's not just normal sibling rivalry. They're torturing me when you're not looking. Believe the kid. Believe your children. Believe that they have a friend that's being mean. Believe them, because sometimes it's not just normal. And it is over and above beyond the level of meanness that anyone should ever have to tolerate. And when a person goes forward and they've never had a consequence, how do you think they're going to behave in life? Well, I can behave any way I want. No one's going to say anything to me. No one's ever said anything to me. So apparently I'm okay. I'm not doing anything wrong. No one's ever done anything to me. Da, 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 da. And they convince themselves that the way they behave is perfectly acceptable. And they will never see it. They will never change because they think they're fine just the way that they are and that the problem is all you, me, us on this side of the non-narcissistic fence. They just go on mistreating people, thinking they have a reason, thinking they're justified, thinking that they have a right. Oh, I'm going to show you. Are you going to show me? And is that working okay for you? Because I see you isolated on an island all by yourself. But they'll stand firm because they've been enabled. When you enable a narcissist, it is very dangerous and leads to them just perpetuating the behavior more and more and more into more people and putting out that negativity out into the world. And it's not anything that you can undo, unfortunately. But if you're in a place that you see it happening, believe people when they tell you if somebody's mistreating them. And don't sweep things under the carpet. And make them, if it's, say, your children, or make them be punished commensurate to the act they did. You're grounded. Yeah, okay. I've seen people do awful things to their siblings. The punishment was minimal. Or the same, or that everyone gets punished. You're all punished. So the person that didn't even do anything is punished also. You lump it all together. You're, again, exhausted. You're a parent. You have maybe 5 kids and they're fighting and you accept it as all the same. Sometimes it's not. Narcissism, this disorder, starts very young, very early, and it gets locked in. And that's the time to do something about it. And if you enable them when they're young, they're going to continually be enabled because now nobody wants to try because there's no getting through to them. Now, they're in a sea of despair for the rest of their life inside the narcissist, because that's a terrible way to live. Continually want to expel hate and meanness upon people. I would never want to be in that space. Enabling a narcissist, the results of it are that we, the victims, get more and more and more mistreatment. The narcissist finds more and more and more people to mistreat. You got to nip it in the bud when they're young. Otherwise, there's no changing them ever. You have to want to change to seek change, right? Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson, one of my favorite songs. Man in the Mirror. If you want to make a change, you got to start with you. A narcissist doesn't think there's anything wrong. Why? Because they've been enabled their whole life to think they're just fine. I got a little punishment, but you did something this bad, but your punishment's this bad. They got away with it. So they're going to do it for the rest of their life. I'm really sorry if you're somebody who has been on the receiving end of somebody who's been an enabled narcissist, but just keep in mind, please, 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 that it is not you. And that twisted up negativity is all within them. They're just trying to get it out by expelling it onto you. And the funny part is, they never will. It lives in them. It's unfortunate.